Hey everybody, so I just wanted to tell you a little bit about my next stage in my evolution right now and what I'm up to. So I just had a beautiful healing session from my friend Noreen Benning, and was super beautiful out in Cochrane, and a bit of holy fire Reiki. And just driving out there, I felt really beautiful and peaceful, like a feeling that I haven't had in a while, and it reminded me of when I worked on Alex and Terry's farm, and we lived in a teepee, and we'd travel back and forth weekly to the farm and back, and we'd stay out there and come back home, which is a very good balance for me. And at that time in life, I had got out of the hospital a year earlier, the psych ward, being diagnosed with schizophrenia. I was in there for 6 months, and I didn't know if I was ever going to get out. And it was actually some friends sending me some Reiki that helped me get better, and my son getting adopted and taking the courses at the hospital, and just really trying to find a way to be myself. I came out of the hospital and I went straight into yoga teacher training, and was so blissed out for about 4 years. And just driving out there, it kind of reminded me of that feeling of being excited about life and really just looking forward to life, and just being in the moment and really being in nature and being grounded. We didn't even have cell phones back then. And my friend that drove me out there was a friend of the healers. I paid her $10 to drive me out there because I didn't drive, and it all went just beautiful. And so I laid on the table and she sang to me, and she gave me some readings from these Yahoshua cards. And so Yahoshua is another name for Jesus, but when we say the word Yahoshua just really invokes the energy of him and the beauty. And I learned again, and I knew this before, but I forgot that if we want the angels to help us, we really need to ask them, because we have free will. And so the angels, they won't help us unless we ask. And it's kind of interesting. I have a neighbor that's in psychosis, and no one brings her to the hospital because she's not sick enough to need to go to the hospital. But she's always saying, I worship Satan and all this stuff, and it's really scary, and I really don't like it, and I've been praying for her too. And I don't really believe Satan's real or anything, but it does get to me. And so after the healing session, I come home, and she said to me, and me and a friend also went into a church to pray, but she actually said to me, I'm sorry for how you made me talk to you, and I forgive you. And she said, Jesus has forgiven you too, and you are welcome to stay in the church, even though you deal with the evil one, she said. But other signs have happened too. I go to work and I get $15 an hour to clean at the gym, and all of a sudden there's an email saying that we can earn up to $18 an hour. And I thought that was really amazing and beautiful. And of course that's dependent upon how well we do in our reviews twice a year, and then so that might happen in May, and then it might be a 50-cent increase, so it might be 18 after 3 years or something. But that was cool. Another sign is I was going for a walk with my beautiful dog Luna, and there was some wings in the tree, life-size human wings, like a bumblebee wings, and someone must have dropped them and left them there, or they're a sign from the angels, or both. So that was cool. I wanted to bring them home, but I figure someone might come back for them, and I like seeing them out there. It reminds me that when I do my healing work, that I'll earn my wings, right? So before I ended up in the hospital, I was actually just starting at Wild Rose College. My schizophrenia was starting. My son had been taken away. I was working with child services. He was about a year old. I was trying to get him back, and I saw an ad in the paper for Wild Rose College, and I thought, wow, the world could use some healers, and maybe if I heal myself first, it could help others to heal. And that was like almost 20 years ago. And a lot has changed since then. And I don't really understand all of it. Like, I had a lot of friends that would take these courses and then just like dive in and go straight into like the healing path and spend the rest of their life doing it. But with me, I've really been hesitating in and out of it, the path, in and out, always coming back. And for me, part of it is being raised with some family members that were Christian. And I think, although some of my family accepts all this healing stuff, acknowledging that it's all a part of God, others didn't. And so I love this like elder prophecy about the eagle and the condor flying together, when religion and spirituality can kind of merge into one. There's so many people that say this is the only path for every single person, and you have to do all the rules or go to church or believe in Jesus to go to heaven. And that might be true for some people, but that's not my path. My path is to welcome all religions, people of all races and genders. And maybe it's all worshiping the same God. And so I'm learning this holy fire Reiki where we invoke the name of Yahoshua, which is a name of Jesus. When we call upon him in that name, his presence is strong with us. And I'm singing to him and Miriam and Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene and the archangels Gabriel, Raphael, Uriel, Michael, and I'm asking all dark spirits in my life to leave, because it's true, guys. Like, I've been being attacked by entities for years and years, and I know I see them, whether it's my grandfather, whether it's entities I don't know. I played with a lot of Ouija boards as kids, calling out to Bloody Mary in the mirror. You guys, that stuff is super dangerous. I know it's exciting to try to communicate with things on the other side, and we might be intrigued and fascinated by it, but our intention was to have fun. It wasn't to help these spirits, it wasn't to heal ourselves. And so we started playing around with something and calling these entities to us, which is not a safe thing that we want to be doing. And I've seen them for a long time, and I see beautiful orb spirits of colors and light. And so because we have dominion over these dark spirits, we can ask them to leave, and they will. And I've been doing that and smudging a lot. See, the gift of sweetgrass and sage, to burn it, is a beautiful gift for us. And you know, it helps to clear off the entities and the dark spirits, and I can protect my place too by walking around with it and smudging my home and my dog, you know. And I live in a building full of people with mental health and brain injuries, and most people don't work. A lot of people are severely ill. There's a lot of people with major anger issues and hate. And to be constantly surrounded by that is scary at times. And I'm planning on, you know, being able to be a healer and a coach and earn more income so I can get out of here and get my own place and keep doing my writing. It'd be nice to live in a place surrounded by beautiful people. And there's a lot of beautiful people here, and I needed it for a while, and it was part of my healing journey. And I'm grateful for the ones here that have showed me love and the ones that showed me hate, because it really showed me what was inside of myself that I needed to heal. And so I'm going to take the Holy Fire Reiki course. I need to sit down and work on my budget. I'm going to have some tea and make it work. And there's a meetup once a month where we can get together and practice on each other too. And so I think that the teachings of Jesus are really beautiful. There was a lot of teachings that got left out of the Bible that were in the Bible. If you look up the Gnostic scrolls, you'll find the story of Mary Magdalene, that she wasn't a prostitute, she was Jesus's girlfriend, and that women had a place in divinity in the church. And the powers that be at the time in the church didn't like that very much, and so they took these books out of the Bible, and someone wanted to protect them, so they hid them, and we found them again more lately. And we see that Jesus was actually teaching that the light was within ourselves, and that in order to find the kingdom of heaven, then we can look within ourselves and be the Christ consciousness. And so this earth school is full of mysteries and sacred teachings and beautiful people and healers and coaches and guides and musicians and saints. And I'm grateful for each and every one of you guys. And some people are not spiritual and yet they're beautiful, and some people are fully spiritual and beautiful. And so each of us must look within and see what our path is and our calling. And for me, doing these videos is a way of reaching people to help them see the divinity within themselves. And really go within and see what is my gift to the world, and developing and getting it out there. And I don't want to waste any more time doing things that don't matter and living in poverty and living in fear, because I'm here to rise up and shine and teach and heal. And we're all called to that in one way or another. Jesus said, if your gift is to teach, teach. If it is to encourage others or inspire others, then do it. If it's to be generous, then do that, And so we can learn a lot from the Bible and the teachings, and I studied it in depth and went to church for a whole year and saved my life. But I'm at that point now where I just want a relationship with God. I don't need to follow a bunch of rules the Bible says to follow, or else. I think it was beautiful and helpful for me to read it, but I don't need to keep coming back to reading it every day or trying to follow the rules. So Jesus said, where the law will always bring wrath upon those who try to follow it, for where there's no law, there's no transgression. And that's him giving us permission to kind of write our own law and not have to follow the rules, but to have a relationship with him and with God and the angels. And every path is different. Everyone's calling is different. Some people are called to be Muslims, some are Buddhists, some are Christians, some are Catholic. I don't want to fight anymore and say one way is the only way for everybody. I think there's a reason we have so many different spiritual paths, and so I respect all of them. If you're a good person and you're living in love and you're loving your neighbor as yourself, and you're doing your work to help, and you're living in peace, that's all we can ask for. And to do our work and live in peace, let the promise of heaven may be with thee. We're here to create heaven. We're here to create it on this earth in this lifetime, not just when we die. And that's one thing that the church got wrong. They're all about believe in Jesus, so when you die you go to heaven. And it's like, well, this earth is already heaven, so live it here. And they're allowed to teach that. That's their soul contract and their teachings, right? So I'm going to sign off here. I love you all. Please, if you have something nice to say, put it in the comments. If you don't, please don't. I'll just delete it. I don't need people telling me I'm going to hell or whatever. I'm not dismissing God and Jesus. I am embracing everything. And maybe tomorrow I'll have a different view, and maybe the day after that again and again. It would be nice to find my truth and stick with it, though. That'd be beautiful. And so here I am, once again, going through a major shift and a breakup, and just trying to get through it with grace and gratitude and love and peace. So thank you all. I love you.